Hello, sir. Sir, your voice is not coming clearly, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Your voice is not clear. It's cracking, sir.
Right now, you can hear me now. Anybody, please respond. Can you hear me, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can start now. Let's start the class. So, last class we had discussed about the different sources of energy, that is conventional, unconventional energy. So, we are discussing about the effect of using this non-renewable energy. So there are two types of air analysis. One type is one renewable, another one. So what are the different adverse effects that may create in the environment uses renewable energy? So one of the primary effect that caused by lung is the pollution. So this pollution is due to this to excessive uses of these fossil fuels and all these kinds of non-renewable non-renewable type of energy. So we are going to discuss in details what are the different types and how we can prevent it from this happening. So first, what do you mean by this environmental pollution? So environmental pollution can be defined as the unrepairable alteration of Earth's environment. So if some agents or some foreign element that affect our environment, that is, affect that are going to harm ourselves or these elements and this biodiversity, then we call this as pollution. So there are primarily two types of pollutant. So the pollutions are caused mainly by the pollutants. So these pollutants can be classified into two types. That is, one is called biodegradable pollutants. These are the pollutants that decompose rapidly by natural process, and another type of pollutants is called non-biodegradable. They don't decompose mostly decompose in environment. So one of the non-biodegradable pollutant example is the plastic. So we know plastic can remain at a stage for hundreds of years. So this is one of the primary sources of degradable pollutant. So these pollutions uh, they can be classified into different types. This main classification of pollutions are air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, marine pollution, noise pollution, farming pollution, and nuclear the pollution due to some nuclear waste or nuclear hazards. So we are going to discuss in details about these pollution types. So first and foremost, we are going to describe or discuss about what we mean by air pollution. Air pollution is nothing but the presence of one or more contaminants like dust, smoke, mist, and odor in the atmosphere, which are injurious to human beings, like plants and animals. So, so what are the different sources of air pollutions? So these sources can be classified into two types. In the first type, this is the natural pollution. So natural pollutions occur due to the smoke, all these gases that is erupt from this volcanic eruption, due to this volcanic eruption, and also due to the forest fires. So lots of amount of smoke is produced during this forest fires. This is a naturally occurring phenomenon. that that happens during these winter seasons or during these dry seasons. So during these seasons, due to these forest fires, a lot of smoke is produced, which will affect the environment. So all another type is this biological decay of these elements such as this. We know that some decomposition of some biodegradable elements they produce some gases like methane or all these kind of things. So this methane gas is also one type of pollutant. So another source of this air pollution is man-made sources. So these man-made sources include this thermal pollution that occur in this thermal power plants due to this burning of coal and all these fossil fuels in the thermal power plant to produce electricity. This is another cause of this air pollution. And this agricultural activities, we know due to this at the time of harvesting, what are the waste that remain in the field like hay or this animal, the unwanted part of this crops, we used to burn them. Because of this, a lot of smoke is produced. So this smoke is the one of the primary source of pollution in this Delhi or on these regions. So you may have heard of this problem of smoke occurring during this winter time. So this is the source of agricultural pollution due to agricultural activity. So classification. So this pollutant can be classified into types. First type is called primary pollutant. These are those emitted directly in the atmosphere in the harmful crop like carbon monoxide or nitrogen oxide. So in the primary form is directly emitted from the source. So another form is called secondary pollutant. These may react with one another or with basic component of air to form a new pollutant. So what is the difference between these two? The primary pollutant is directly emitted from the sources. This carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, this is emitted due to burning of this fossil fuels or coal in the thermal power plant. But secondary pollutants are produced due to this reaction between this carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, or methane, all these other constituents that emitted as a primary pollutant. So this will react each other in the form of this presence of sunlight to form secondary pollutant. So one of the example of secondary pollutant is ozone. So ozone is nothing but the primary constituent of this smoke that produced in Delhi or all this in this pollutant part of the city. So ozone is formed by the reaction of all these primary pollutant. So how can we control this type of pollution? So different sources of control. So first we can only use this unleaded petrol. So it may prevent pollution. Also, uh, so we can also another way we can prevent this by using these petroleum products in other fuels that have low sulfur and ash content. So sulfur and ash contents, which is due to this burning of these petroleum products, the sulfur converted to this sulfur dioxide, and from ashes the different types of gases that emit or some different particles, suspended particles that emitted to the environment. So this is also another source of air pollution. So also by planting trees along busy streets because they remove particles and carbon monoxide and absorb noise. Another way you can uh, prevent this air pollution is industries waste disposal sites should be situated outside the city. So we have observed this frequently that all these our household waste or industrial waste are disposed without any disposal mechanism. So there should be some disposal mechanism so that we can properly dispose this waste outside the city without harming the environment. Use catalytic converter to help control the emission of carbon monoxide and hydrocarbon. So Using this catalytic converter, we can prevent the emission of carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons. Control measures in industrial centers. So the first one is how we can control this air pollution at the source level. So and the next one, how we can control at the industry centers. So emission rates should be restricted to the permissible levels. So there is a compulsion that nowadays there is a compulsion for each and every vehicle to carry out this pollution test. So this is the one type of measure that comes under that is control measures in the industrial center. Incorporation of air pollution control equipment in design of the plant's layout. So here, before going nowadays, what happened before going to this approval phase of some project, so it should be evaluated by some environmental engineer, so that he can determine how much pollution it will create, whether this is safe for this environment or not. Is it in the permissible level that is described in our regulations? So this thing we have to take care before going to the approval phase. So right now we have all discussed this what are the source and control measures of air pollution. So next we are going to discuss what are the different source and effect of water pollution. So first and foremost, what do you mean by water pollution? It may be defined as the alteration in physical and chemical and biological characteristics of water, which may cause harmful effect of human and aquatic life. So this is the definition. Uh, So what are the different type, effects and source of water pollution? So this infectious agent, what are the different sources? This one source is bacteria, virus, protozoa and parasitic worms. The sources is human and animal waste. So this is the agent. So these agents are produced from this human and animal waste. So what is the effect of this thing? So this because of this bacteria virus that is born in this uh, wastewater, or you can say that this pollutant water, they actually produce a swarm of bacteria virus that is harmful, or they cause various diseases in our body or in other animals also. So this is the only harmful effect of this human and animal waste. Uh, the other category is this oxygen demanding and demanding waste. So animal mineral waste that can be decomposed by aerobic bacteria. These sources are sewage, paper mill, food processing facilities. Waste can degrade quality by effects. The effect is waste can degrade quality by depleting water of dissolved oxygen. So there are two types that is called oxygen demanding. So in the oxygen demanding case, let's say the example of the septic tank. In septic tank, what we do, we dump all our human waste septic tank. So inside, and this presence of this aerobic uh, bacteria composes. Due to this decomposition, different kinds of gases are produced, that is, this sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, or methane. So this may be also a cause of one type of pollution. Also, the wastewater that emits from this septic tanks may cause this water pollution. Uh, in inorganic chemicals, water soluble inorganic chemicals, compounds of toxic metals such as lead, arsenic, selenium, salt, salts like sodium chloride in ocean water. So these are the sources that is due to this all this chemical compound, that is lead, arsenic presence in this water, which can cause water pollution. So what are the effect of this pollution? That is, this may also cause this genetic mutation, birth defects, and certain types of cancer. So thermal pollution. So how thermal heat can occur is can cause the water pollution. So we can know this from thermal power plants. So a lot of steam is produced by heating water. So this water somehow we have to dump it. So what we do, we actually uh, dump this wastewater into these streams and all these oceans. So this may also harmful for these aquatic animals and all these fishes and these plants that live in this river and ponds. So this will cause a harmful effect to this um, uh, aquatic life. So this is the also a source of water pollution. So another type is called human source. Water cooling of electric power plants, some type of industrial plants, all water withdrawn in intercities for cooling electric power plants. So these are I have already discussed. So what are the effect of this water pollution? Lower the dissolved water oxygen level makes aquatic organisms more vulnerable to disease and toxic chemicals. So due to this pollution, the holding capacity of oxygen of water reduces and it will cause adverse effect to this aquatic organism and this also produce lots of diseases to them. So also for the humans. When a power plant first opens or shut down for repair, fish and other organisms adapted to the particular temperature range that can be is by abrupt changes water temperature less thermal shock. So that thing I have already discussed, that is this expulsion of this hot water of this thermal power plant to this natural water sources. So how can you control this water pollution? So first and foremost, the administration of water pollution should be in the hand of state and central government. So water pollution measures should be strict and government should strictly apply these policies to the general public. Industries plans should be based on recycling operation because it will not only stop the discharge of water waste into the natural water source, but byproduct can be extracted from the waste. So one of the proposition we can reduce the water pollution by recycling the water. So instead of expulsion of this water into the natural streams or rivers, we can recycle this water. So what we can do, it can be benefited by two ways. First, we will recycle that water, so we don't have to uh, bring in new water for this our operations. Also, we can also extract some part of this waste. So there are some available waste that is also expelled from this polluted water. So we can actually extract this from this polluted waters and use it for our different operations. So plants, trees, forests control pollution and they act as a natural air conditioner. Highly qualified, experienced persons should be consulted from time to time for effective control of water pollution. Basic and applied research in public health organizations should be encouraged. So these are the control measures for water pollution. So another type of pollution that is we also come across this is called soil pollution. It may be defined as the contamination of this soil, this would be soil, by human and natural activities which may cause harmful effect on living organisms. So the definition is same, but here we will write soil instead of water or air. So what are the different types? First type is called industrial waste, pulp, paper, source and what are the source and effects of industrial waste. Pulp and paper mills, chemical industries, oil refineries, sugar factories. So from these industries, the what are the waste product that is dumped in this let's say landfill or all these places that will actually cause us water soil pollution. So this pollution affects and alter the chemical and biological properties of soil. As a result, hazardous chemical can enter human food chain from soil, disturb the biochemical process, and finally lead to serious effects. So urban waste, uh, another source of what soil pollution is of urban waste, plastic, glasses, metallic cans, fiber, papers, rubber, streets, sweeping, in all these discarded manufacturing products. So these are also dangerous. So what we do, we simply dump our household waste or all these things in certain places where we should not. this place. So what will got, it does not decompose over time and it will create soil pollution. Also from agricultural practices, source and effects of these practices. Say we use huge quantities of fertilizer, pesticide, herbicide, weedicide, and are added to increase the crop yield. So this is the normal practice in our agricultural side. So we use the fertilizer pesticides. That is, we don't know what how much amount of fertilizer and pesticides we have to use for certain type of field or certain amount of areas. So we without knowing what is the amount, we simply spray them in our fields. So what it will cause? So we spray them in excessive amount. So it will create another problem of soil pollution. Apart from this, farm waste, manure, slurry are reported to uh, cause soil pollution. So another type of soil pollution is radioactive pollution. So these are results from explosion of nuclear gas and radioactive waste penetrated into soil, accumulate there by creating land pollution. So uh, we have conducted lots of nuclear tests or can you hear me, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Radioactive pollution. So due to conducting this nuclear test, we have generated actually a vast amount of nuclear dust which contain radioactive elements. So these elements actually create a huge problem by creating soil pollution. So another source is from these biological agents. Soil gets a large quantities of human elements per excreta, which constitute a major source of land pollution by biological agents. So what are the control measures of soil pollution? So there are different control measures. So one of the source is called population growth. Sources of this soil pollution is population growth. So we have to limit our population growth or control our population growth so that we can use our resources more effectively by reducing soil pollution. Uh, Decrease of available farmland into urbanization. So uh, we have to practice some type of uh, farming or farming practice where we don't use this pesticide or fungicide in excessive amount so that we can reduce this soil pollution. Forestry and farm practices, proper dumping and unwasted handling. So we have to dump our waste product, that is plastic waste. So what we have to do, there is a system called recyclable waste and unrecyclable waste. So we have to dispose this thing separately so that we can prevent soil pollution. Production of natural fertilizer. So instead of using this artificial fertilizer which produce the soil pollution, we can also always use this farming compost and all other natural source of fertilizer. Also practicing proper hygienic condition, also avoiding this public awareness of soil pollution, what are the harmful effects of soil pollution, recycling the use of wastage and reuse of waste, ban toxic chemicals. So these are the control measures of soil pollution. So next class we are going to discuss about the medan pollution, noise pollution, and thermal pollution, and nuclear hazards. For this class, I think this should be it. So we'll meet in the next class. Thank you. So you put your attendance in the chat box.